Hello and welcome guys to the Mawejje family. It's your girl Precious.
And it's your boy Rogers.
Yes guys, today we have come with another exciting and great video where we are going to be talking about the village culture shocks between Zimbabwe and Uganda.
Yes guys, if you have been wondering how are the villages in Uganda, how are the villages in Zimbabwe, are they the same? What are the things that are happening here in Uganda or in Zimbabwe? This is the video we have for you today.
Yes guys, so as you all know, by the way, I got a privilege to visit one of the villages in Uganda, but I know a bit, but I'm going to allow my husband to represent Ugandan villages. Then me, I'm going to represent Zimbabwean villages.
In fact, the only village she visited was our village. Yes, so that's the experience she has. Yeah. So guys, before we go into this video, make sure you subscribe if you are new here, like this video and leave the comment.
Yes guys, so let's get into it right away. We have a few points. So the first thing we're going to talk about is weddings in villages.
What?
Weddings in villages.
Okay, the way you had said it. Guys, if you're coming from Uganda, she means wedding.
Yeah, wedding. Okay, weddings in villages. Because I have seen a lot of things that people in Uganda actually wed in their villages. You can talk about...
Yeah, guys, in Uganda, we believe that mostly, you know, when, for example, where I'm coming from, if I want to make a wedding, I can decide to make it from where I come from our home. Because it is a big compound, we can decide to do a wedding here, and it's very okay. We invite people, even people coming from the city, and they go, and guess what, on the weddings? You know, I've seen in town, they make a wedding up to maybe 6 p.m. Okay. But in villages, from morning up to morning.
A wedding will still be happening.
Yes, so how is it in...
Okay, in Zimbabwe, by the way, that one came to me as a surprise. Because in Zimbabwe villages, let me say Shona villages, I don't think people wed in villages.
Are you sure?
The truth is, no matter how big a compound can be at someone's village, at their village, their grandparents, people don't wed in villages.
So they go to towns?
People look for the nearest maybe location, a good church, a good what. You know, they wed there, but at home, they don't. I don't know the reasons, but I have never. If you are from Zimbabwe and you know maybe for you in your villages, people wed there at their homes, put it in the comment section. But for me, from my own village, I have never seen.
So for example, give me, for example, Precious, no, let me just... You are from the city. Okay. For example, a girl grew up in a village, and that's where she has been living, in the village of Zimbabwe, and also a boy in the same village. So when these two want to get married, do they also make the wedding, they look for a next town, or if the home of the man or the ladies has a big compound, they do it there? What happens there?
They don't do it there.
Are you sure?
They can't. By the way, I don't think it's even something normal to go to the village, or even if you live in the village and still wed in the village, it's not possible. But I have also seen in Uganda that if the wedding is to happen, it has to happen on the men's side. In Zimbabwe, it's not there.
In fact, a wedding is for a man. That's true. Except now in Uganda, since now they have gazetted places, there are places, for example, in hotels, or there are, you know, gardens where people do weddings. There it is, you know, it is not for a man or a woman, but the wedding is meant to be for a what?
For a man.
For a man. A kwanjula is for a lady. That's how we take it in Uganda.
Lobola is for the lady.
Yes,
but
lobola is for a lady, but wedding is for the
Zimbabwe,
man.
It's a bit different.
In fact, it's the man who decides, where to do the wedding. Of course, there is some agreement between the two partners, but at least the man has a higher upper hand on the wedding. So guys, tell us, if you're coming from a different country, how is it happening in villages?
Yes, in
villages. Do you
villages.
do it like in Uganda? In Uganda, we can do weddings in villages.
In Zimbabwe, I have not heard, I have not seen. If you are from Zimbabwe, any other part of Zimbabwe, tell us in the comment section, do you wed in your villages? And also specifically on the men's side, that a lady, you go and do a wedding in the village of your boyfriend or husband to be. Tell us in the comment section, guys.
Yeah.
Now we are going to move to the second culture shock in villages between Uganda and Zimbabwe.
Yes.
We are going to talk about sending your children to stay with their grandparents. By the way, in Zim, I have seen many people don't like just send their children to stay with their grandmothers.
Okay.
They don't. I don't know the belief. Maybe it's only my side, but people have a tendency of not sending. Some people do send, but a lot, mostly those who are in the cities, they don't feel comfortable sending their children to stay with their grandparents because of many reasons. In me, the things I grew up hearing was too much witchcraft, my child will do this. But in Uganda, I'm sure it's a bit different.
No, in Uganda, in fact, mostly, for example, my mother, I'm the last born. You see, I'm the last born. That's why. So guys, when we grew up, so meaning most of her children, her own children, are grown up. They have moved out of the home, so she can't be alone. Okay. Most of the times now, when our children, she can ask us to, you know, like there are some of my brothers and sisters that their children, she asked for them, they're at home, and it's mama who is taking care of them. You get a point. Of course, these ones, they are the ones responsible to send some money for school fees and so everything on. But at least she feels okay when she has people around, even kids. She's very okay. She can take care of them very well. So here we are very okay. There are people who are not okay, depending on families. And how connected you are with your mother or your parents. But here we are very okay, some of them. But some of them also send them in holidays.
Yes,
like if
in
they can't
Zimbabwe,
stay,
people normally
holidays.
Go to villages in holidays. People can be comfortable to send their children only for holidays. 2 weeks they are back, but not that much that they stay there for a long time. No, that for their lifetime they can feel comfortable sending their children. There are others who do that, but it's very rare. To see someone sending their children to stay with their mothers.
Here it's very free. It's very free depending on what you want.
And also in Zimbabwe, I've realized people, mostly ladies, feel comfortable to send their children to their mother's house, not to the husband's house. Things I have grew up hearing. Someone can be so safe to send their children to their mother's house, because I'm not saying the husband's side is bad, but there is this trust and what they have since they grew up with their mother. You see.
Also, it depends, as I said, it depends on the relationship between parents and their children. Here in Uganda.
Now we are going to move to the third culture shock. If you have watched our video that I did in the village lifestyle in Uganda, where I take you through, guys, when I visited my mother-in-law, some people were saying, Precious, where is the Zambia? In Zimbabwe, we call it Zambia. Or in Uganda, you call it what?
That is Lesu.
Lesu. Where is the Lesu? Where is the Zambia? You know, for me, I had forgotten it also, but in Uganda, I'm sure you told me that it's not that much.
No, in fact, here, when, for example, you visit our home, it's not that you have to tie yourself, as long as you have put on something that is long enough to cover my parts. As long as you have put on something long enough, it is okay. Okay, it is okay. Here we don't take it that you are in a village, so you have to tie yourself.
Not in your front of your mother-in-law.
Okay, you can put on a lace, but they are not even that much common. Yeah, here in Uganda, no. So,
but in Zim,
villages.
The truth is, when you visit village, except if it's your own home that you are visiting, maybe your own grandmother. There's no way you can be tying.
But when you're visiting Mulamus.
But if you are visiting your mother-in-law in Zimbabwe, you actually go with some Zambias or Lesu. You make sure you're tying it almost every day. You can't remove it as a Murora or Mugole or whatever. You can't remove it. So it's a bit different with Uganda. For me, I was very okay, by the way. I saw people commenting in the comment section on that video, and I told you guys next time I will buy. But truthfully, it's not really a must to be tying yourself like
here
that.
In Uganda, it's not. Though you have to represent your people well.
Yes, since I have to represent my Zimbabwean people, next time when I go, I'm going to make sure I tie it. I go with a Zambia, yes.
Yeah.
Now we are going to talk about boiling water when drinking. In Zim.
Talk about that.
I see when my husband came to Zimbabwe, he found it so weird to take water directly from the tap and drink. They can't do it.
Here we don't. In fact, we believe even in villages where water feels like it's clean, it's not from this
from a
city.
Well, you just take from a well.
We boil water. Any water to drink, it has to be boiled. Apart from the mineral water here in the villages, they boil their water.
Yeah, that's true.
They boil their water.
By the way, it was so challenging for me when I first came here to boil water, and it was not tasting so good because I was used to take water straight from the tap in Mutare and I drink. But here in villages they boil, whether they take it from a borehole, whether they take it from a well, as long as it's for drinking, they boil it first.
In fact, let me tell you, here in Uganda, anyone who sees you taking water straight from the tap and taking it, sees you abnormal. You are not normal.
It's like when you're eating chicken legs.
Yes, even chicken legs. There are people who are saying from Uganda, like when I tried them, guys, it wasn't easy.
It's
but
not normal.
It is the same as on.
But in Zimbabwean villages, when someone takes water from the borehole straight, they can even drink it when they're still in the borehole. When they take water from the well straight, they drink it. I believe maybe some boil, but I don't think so. A higher percentage, they just take water straight from the tap, except for those maybe in cities who live in areas where they know the water is not always clean. They boil, but in villages, most of the times people drink water as it is.
Yeah, guys, tell us from your country.
Your country. Do you also boil, or do you just take as it is?
Sure.
Now we are going to go to another thing in terms of housings in villages of Zimbabwe and Uganda. So in Zimbabwe, villages most of the time, mostly the deep villages, it's more of thatched houses with the grass. Okay. They can a compound can be having 4 or 3 thatched houses, and maybe like a small 2-roomed that is just of, they build it so well, they put even steel what roofing. But most of them are thatched. I don't know.
In Uganda, I'm sure we are upgraded. Our villages, except just maybe 1% of the villages in Uganda. But you saw where I come from.
We even showed
there are houses, there are mansions in villages.
By the way,
there are mansions in villages in Uganda. So you find that people use iron sheets, people use bricks to build
tiles.
In villages, tiles. You find that a house in a village in Uganda is like a mansion that would have been in the city. That's Uganda.
Yeah, in Zimbabwe, I know people are upgrading these days. They're building in their villages, but a higher percentage, the villages are not yet that much upgraded in some parts of Zimbabwe. But in some parts, I know people are now knowing the best. They're taking their city styles and bring them to the village most of the times. Then we are going to talk about the issue of cows. I saw someone commenting in the video we did of village lifestyle that do you also have cows in Ugandan villages, because they were seeing only pigs at our place. They saw pigs, they saw chickens, they saw what. They're asking, do you also have cows and what? Yeah,
in fact, we have cows, and we have different tribes in Uganda. Where I visited, we don't normally keep cows, but they are in certain homes. But we have tribes like Banyankole here. Mostly in every home there are cows, because they are cow keepers. They have cows. They have a lot of them. Even in Buganda, central region, there are cows in villages, but not as it is in Banyankole.
So I see. In Zim, most of the villages, when you visit, there are cows at every home. Me, I come from Buhera, by the way. If you are from Buhera, you know me, I even been forgetting how to pronounce these words. If you are coming from Buhera, yeah, that's where I'm coming from. 07 cows, every home has cows.
Okay.
So in Zim villages, people take it seriously because they farm with them.
Okay.
That's why they used to farm. You see,
they have this.
They use them for milk. They use them for a lot of things. They put them on these local traditional transportation. You want to go to the we call it chigayo in Zim. That is a maize grinder. You want to take to grind your meal, you put them in that. With cows, you go and come back, you see. So it's very normal to find every home with cows in Zim. So yeah, guys, these were the village culture shocks we have for you between Zimbabwe and Uganda. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like this video, guys. This will help us to grow.
Yeah.
Like this video, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Make sure you put a comment. Just leave any comment you feel like leaving in the comment section. That will also push this video far and help us grow the channel, guys. We love you so much. See you in our next lit video.